Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the Hyper-Conscious Podcast with a Salt Lamp. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where we sat down with Mike Cameron. Today, for episode number 435, we are going to talk about the most boring thing that will make the biggest difference in your life.
That's a fire title right there.
If you clicked on this, you got some courage.
You do, because this is going to be boring. Yes. No, so I'll never forget when we were on the phone, one of our very first coaching calls with Mr. David Meltzer, and I asked him something along the lines of, if you could go back and talk to your 30-year-old self, because Kevin and I are 30.
31, thank you.
Now we're 31, but at the time we were 30.
Correct.
And what would you tell him? And he said, honestly, the things I would have done differently, number one by far was being a student of my calendar. Now, what does that mean? I think he has like a whole bunch of trainings on this actual topic, but Kevin and I really wanted to bring to you something that we think is a very useful tool. And I'll frame this really quickly in a certain way. Some people spend time, some people invest time, and then some people multiply time. If you're not good at the calendar, that's like weight training is to muscle mass as the calendar is to productivity.
Wow.
Ooh.
I used to be really good at those. What are those called?
Analogies.
But like when you have to finish the analogy.
I have no idea.
I was really good at those.
Oh, on the SATs? Yeah.
I don't remember the SATs, man.
Worm is to fish as food is to Kevin.
Very good. I think sometimes I forget that this isn't something that a ton of people...
Right.
Like now, it's normal for us. You're definitely better with your calendar than I am. You go back and make sure everything... Once the day passes me, I'm good with it. I don't have to make any changes or anything. But...
Yeah, that sounds sustainable.
Yeah, it is. It's sustainable. When I get up, so today... Got up at 4, went to the gym. I was at the gym for like 5 past 5, got home at 6:30. Taryn leaves for work at 6:45, give her a kiss while I'm in the shower, blah, blah, blah. After I get out of the shower, I check my schedule. Okay, What's today? What do I have today? Okay, I got a call with one of my clients at 10:30. I got a free call at 11:30, recording from 12 to 7. Boom, right? Now I know, okay, I have time. I have some white space here where I can add some client work, meditation, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But I remember when we first started this, just winging it. For me, just winging it, like podcasting it too. Everything else is freebie.
Yeah.
And if you can, especially now, and you might be thinking, well, I have a job, so I work 8 hours, so I don't really have to worry about this. If you want to do stuff outside of work, like exercise or reading or any of that, this is going to be super important for you, because what it helps you do is put the non-negotiables into something concrete. This is a non-negotiable. You cannot get a hold of me on Sunday if I don't want you to.
Right.
Because my calendar is shut down. Right? And quite the opposite. On Wednesday, when I have an open schedule, you can literally get a hold of me anytime if you book.
Right.
That's by design, not by accident.
So when was it? Here's the interesting thing, right? It creates certainty. So uncertainty creates lack of action. Certainty creates action. And so imagine two extremes. One person, their entire life is scheduled out every minute, every hour, on the hour. It's all scheduled out, and there's no silence between the notes. That person, it's going to be very, very difficult, in my opinion, to have a fulfilling life unless you're just like really, really into structure. On the other extreme is you wake up and wing it. You have no structure whatsoever. I believe the integration of those two extremes is where we should all sort of dance and play and live. And so, for example, today, so my Gmail is set up to where it emails me every morning at 5 a.m. my schedule for the day. So I woke up this morning knowing that you and I were meeting at noon. And it provides a level of certainty of like, you and I know that if it's on my calendar, you'll know I'll be there. And if it's on your calendar, I know you'll be there. If it's not, I remember you called me up 5 minutes before a call one time, and you're like, dude, I don't know why, but this isn't on your calendar, but we got a call, like a dual coaching call in like 5 minutes. And I was like not ready, and we ended up doing it. But that's the thing. When you get in the habit of executing against your calendar, it almost is a set it and forget it type of tool where, so we get asked this question often, Emilia and I, because not a lot of relationships do this, but I think it's such a beautiful thing. Every single week we schedule. And so this week, I'm seeing Emilia on Wednesday, on Friday, and on Saturday. Friday is a tentative that may or may not fall, but no matter what, it's going to be a Wednesday and a Saturday. Now, here's the cool part about that. In the silence between the notes in our relationship, I'm not wondering on Tuesday whether or not we're going to hang out. I know we're not going to hang out unless you can throw in surprises and stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's nice to know. It creates a level of certainty. And in the past, I never did that with relationships. And I didn't realize that this was happening, but it was always kind of like, am I going to get to see him tonight? Like my girlfriend would think that. Like, am I going to get to see him tonight? I would leave it ambiguous. And I think it creates a negative thing because if you're out there listening right now, you've probably been super excited to like hang out with your intimate partner before, and they've probably let you down because something came up or whatever. Imagine if you got rid of all that ambiguity of like wondering what if. Like, do I get to see him tonight? Do I not? Do I get to see her tonight? Do I not? It's just, it creates certainty, which creates action, which creates fulfillment.
I do. So obviously Tara and I live together, so it's a little bit different, but Tuesday nights, I block off from 5 to 11. We're never up to 11 because we're old. We go to bed early. And on Thursdays, same thing, from 5 to 11. So, like, again, that's scheduled because if it's not, I'll fill it. That's the other end of making sure that you have everything in your calendar. Because if not, I'll fill it with something.
Right.
I'll say, if you reach out to me and say, hey, I want to do a call, I'll just send you my Calendly link. That's it. I'm not going to schedule a time. I'm going to let you pick one.
Right.
And if I don't have that time blocked off, you might pick a time where I'm supposed to be with Tara, and it's my job to block that off. And it's interesting because I look back at before this was a thing, and it's weird to think of living life that way. And again, maybe you don't have a schedule like ours. Maybe you do have a job. Maybe you're, whatever it is. This is something that just because you're not at the same level in terms of maybe your schedule, this will be beneficial to you. It's boring to talk about, like, oh yeah, like work on your schedule, work on your calendar. But literally, it has probably been one of the biggest life changers
of all time.
It is set it and forget it. Like if you reach out and say, I want to book a call, here's my Calendly link. It will email me the time. It'll automatically go to my calendar. It has all the questions and the answers. I just show up, prep, and we're good to go.
Right.
Makes it that much easier. So,
and we also have it set up so that you can only book specific times. So on Calendly right now, if we send you a link for a free coaching call, you only are on my calendar. It's only from 12 to 6 p.m. every day. I think Sunday's blocked, so I think it's Monday through Saturday. But the point is you can set it up so that you. The last thing I'll say here is this: it's all by design.
Yeah, intentional.
All you have in this life is time. The moment you were born, there was a candle lit of time that you're running out of. And I was with Emilia last night, and I said something that shook her snow globe a little bit. I said, babe, like we were literally listening to love songs in bed. Like it was a really beautiful moment. And because we have this new Spotify playlist of love songs. And I literally said, we will never have this moment again. And it really like shook her snow globe. And she's like, wow, like that was kind of, that like messed with me a little bit. I said, yeah, but that's why this is so precious. This is so beautiful. And if all you have in life is time, how well are you investing it in the persons, places, things, and ideas that matter to you? I think that without the tool of a calendar, I could never, dude, imagine going back.
No.
How do we convince the listeners that this is something they have to master? You have to master this if you want to have a world-class life. There's no way around it from my perspective.
You're probably leaving a ton on the table by not doing it because everything you say, well, I'll take care of that later, you won't. Because I know I don't.
Right.
I literally went through my email today and there was a podcast I was supposed to be on that got rescheduled. I never reached back out. I completely forgot.
Yep.
I didn't make it a priority. I didn't put it on my calendar. Like I have today. I don't know if it's today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 1st, I think.
Right.
Not if you're listening to this because we record this on Monday. But it literally says email Brennan Burchard's team.
Yep.
I literally put that in my calendar 2 months ago for today because they said message him in September.
Yep.
I would never remember that.
No, of course
There's
not.
so many other things going on. But we've already talked about it. We shot a video. We'll be sending that out, right? So that's because of the calendar. Anything you can do to automate and remind yourself automatically, it's going to be a game changer.
And Kevin and I can tell this will be the very last thing I say. It will. Yeah, because we got to go.
Got to go.
But we can tell how seriously you take your business and you take your life by how you run your calendar and whether or not you show up on time
Yes.
and consistently.
Yes.
It's definitely a tell-all. So I want you to know, if you're out there right now and you're in a job and you're not good at the original name of what I wanted to call this episode, which is calendar hygiene.
Yeah.
It,
It's a hard hitter.
you only get one chance at a first impression. People are drawing conclusions about you subconsciously by how you manage your time. And I remember my Aunt Joanne, I saw her calendar when she was my business coach originally, and it scared the hell out of me because I'm like, I don't want a life like that. Now I understand. Now I get it. And I do want a life like that, and now I kind of have a life like that, which is beautiful. But if you want a world-class life, you're going to have this tool and this system and be a student of your calendar, and that's a wrap.
I told you this when you came into the studio today. I had a call scheduled today, and the kid was 5 minutes late. I canned it. Like, I got out of the Zoom room, and again, maybe he missed it. Maybe he misscheduled it. Maybe he didn't pay attention to his calendar. But if you want to be high level, you got to pay attention to your calendar because people notice that.
You get what you tolerate.
You get what you tolerate, as we said.
Yep.
And now I don't know if that free call is going to happen. So that could have changed the podcast form, and now it's not going to happen. If you want a free call with Kevin himself,
Oh, yeah?
I'm doing free 30-minute podcast calls. If you have a show and you want to grow it, if you want to start a show and you don't know how, if you're trying to monetize and scale, whatever your case may be, again, we've done 435 of these. I run podcasts for people. We've done this many, many times. So I would love to add value and make sure you show up on time.
Yeah, absolutely. We open the rooms.
No.
Oh, yeah, that was for the calls. Make sure you show up for the calls on time.
I knew that was going.
So what I'm talking about, though,
Yes.
just to be clear,
Yes.
that was a hell of a logical leap.
Yeah, that was good.
So every Monday at
Every
6
Monday.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Every Monday.
we do a mastermind.
Yes.
But now we're opening the room at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is a half an hour early for people to network and basically meet like-minded, growth-oriented people. Looking back, you've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again. Nothing's going to change your life like the people in it. Nothing has a greater influence over you than the people in your life. And if you want to get around better people, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. We live in a digital world now where you can connect with like-minded people regularly. And we're bringing a group of people together who are hyper-conscious and for a common goal, which is just to be better. So join us, learn, network, and when I say network, build relationships strategically. Build relationships with people who are trying to have a brighter future, and your future will be brighter.
Guys, thank you as always for joining us. We hope you enjoyed, and we will talk to you tomorrow where you will be able to see the mastermind that we did with our amazing girlfriends, Taryn and Emilia. That is dropping tomorrow at noon. Do not miss that if you're in a relationship, if you're out of a relationship, if you want to be better in relationships. Most people get into relationships by accident and think they're going to succeed by accident. It doesn't work that way, so join us. We hope you enjoyed. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.